JTV News spoke with Governor McCleary about the decision to have the observer mission for this election.
On Thursday evening, JTV News spoke with Governor McCleary on the issue of the observers, which has generated mixed responses from residents and political candidates alike. The governor said that the presence of the observers is a part of good governance, and it was actually his decision to have them present at this election. Governor McCleary went on to state that they are in fact not UK officials.
It's not a question of interfering, and it's also not a question of the UK government doing anything. A decision to introduce or to invite observers was taken by me, and the observers are not from the UK government. There's also a misunderstanding. The observers are from parliaments in the British Isles, from Westminster, from the parliaments from the legislatures in Guernsey and in the Isle of Man, which are two of the Crown dependencies, and the other observers are from CARICOM. Indeed, the head of the mission is from CARICOM, a former chief of the Electoral Commission Guyana. So we've got a team led by CARICOM with representation from a number of different parliaments in the British Isles. So I think that will be a useful cross-section and bring a degree of freshness to observing the elections here, and hopefully we will gain some benefit from it.
JTV News went on to question the governor on several major issues that particularly came to light during this election. Issues that the community has expressed fall under good governance, such as the fact that the Virgin Islands budget is being requested by the UK 2 months in advance of being laid on the table at the House of Assembly. We also asked the governor to address the issue that no audited financial reports have been presented in the House of Assembly or made public for the last 4 years, and there have been no public accounts meetings, all matters that fall under good governance.
Well, of course it's right that the finances should be properly controlled. As I made clear, the British government has a clear responsibility for working to ensure that there are high financial standards in the overseas territories, of which BVI is one. That's very much part of the government's approach towards its relationship with the territories. And as I said before, and I repeat, is an ongoing discussion. It's not all public, and it would be wrong for it to be public. Quite a lot of that discussion takes place behind closed doors, as you would expect. And part of my role is to have that debate, have that discussion with the government of the day to ensure that the standards are at the highest possible level. We have that ongoing discussion with this government, and we'll have it with future governments too. Every government that comes to power here in the BVI, there will be an ongoing discussion about matters relating to financial discipline, fiscal prudence and so on, and it's appropriate that we should have that discussion. Because at the end of the day, if there's something goes wrong, then there's potential liability to the UK Exchequer, and that's not what we want to hold.
We questioned the governor on the issue of accountability and the UK's role in the territory, as many have equated much of what is presently taking place in the BVI with what transpired in the Turks and Caicos, where the UK government stepped in and took over, even though a governor was present while all the events unfolded. Governor McCleary said that in the case of the Turks and Caicos, the UK's intention is to restore the elected government as soon as certain milestones are met, and it is the UK's hope that similar situations do not occur in other overseas territories.
Well, things went wrong in the Turks. I can't comment in detail on what happened. Currently what's happened is that the UK government has stepped in and has taken responsibility for the government in the Turks and Caicos, but the government's intention, the UK government's intention, is to restore the elected government as soon as it believes that elected government can take over. And the intention is that should happen provided certain milestones are met. And once those milestones are met, the government in the UK has made quite clear that it wants to restore elected government. And we want to avoid a situation like that occurring in any other overseas territory. Again, that's a direct quote from UK ministers. We want to avoid a situation such as the Turks and Caicos arising elsewhere.
The Observer team will be submitting an initial and first impressions report to the governor before the mission departs the BVI, with a fuller report produced within 1 month. According to Governor McCleary, any submissions they do make will have to be considered in due course. This is Walter Barrett for JTV News.